feel like the traditional marriage, in the sense of two people living together in a house for the rest of their lives, me personally, I don't think I can do that. Not saying that I would need no, I don't need that, but I just need it to be done differently if I'm ever put in that situation.
So like you can live in two separate houses.
Yeah, like I don't want to live with anyone in one house.
Actually,
like,
I think that's a nice setup.
No,
your
like
house is there, my house is here.
Yeah, you know what? Even
Goodbye.
different cities. I don't even want to do. No, really, I don't. Like, I don't need to see you all the time. You know.
Hi guys, and we can actually like look at you guys now when we say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hi. This, I mean, if we do say so ourselves, this setup looks amazing.
Absolutely.
I feel like we've gone from she sessions 1.0 to 10.0,
right? Mm-hmm. To the she sessions.
You know? Yeah, we're getting there, in it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Welcome, guys. Season 3. Can't believe we're here, you know.
Bro.
Like, it was like a joke in January, but we're here, like season 3.
With our crappy mics.
Doing... Oh my God, yeah, we did start from like crappy mics.
Yeah.
Thank God for growth, man.
I know, right? Proud of us.
But yeah, look at us today. Season 3. We have a whole production going on. We have a producer.
Shout out to PY.
Shout out to PY. Shout out to Basement 34. We are in Hamburg.
We are.
Yeah, we're in Hamburg. We're shooting in Hamburg. Most of our episodes will be recorded here now. So if you're ever in Hamburg, or if you ever run into us, say hello. We don't bite.
Meet and greet.
Well, we should plan a meet and greet.
Already?
Yeah. We might meet 2 people.
Okay. Yeah.
You know? Invite all your family and friends.
Or that.
And we might meet 10 people.
I love your serious face when you're saying that.
Yeah, but it's been crazy. I think season 2 ended on a high. Rufaro, you broke the internet.
Actually,
the good, the bad, and the ugly. Everything.
Oh, by the way, let's welcome everyone. Welcome, good. Welcome back. Welcome, ugly. You're all welcome.
Like,
we don't discriminate.
We don't.
But yeah, you broke the internet. How are you feeling, by the way?
Good, actually, because somehow I haven't just been keeping up with the comments. Yeah, so if you don't know what we're talking about, it's the episode we did with the Black Base podcast. And there's this clip where I was sharing an opinion that was actually someone else's opinion. And people were just coming for me. But I say what I say, child.
Rufaro is not reading your comments anyways.
Exactly.
I'm not.
I mean, have fun. It's the thing is, and I hope you know this by now. It's good for us. So please, by all means.
Yeah.
And then we also had our first. Actually, we had 2 video episodes last season. So we started coming out of the trenches already. But now we're here. I mean, like, this looks amazing. I'm really excited. I don't know about you guys.
I'm excited.
I think we're so pumped to finally, like, have video and, like, do meaningful stuff.
Not just
you know what I mean by this? You know how we always used to, like, do our makeup and never post anything,
right?
But at least
what
now,
a waste.
At least now it's.
I mean,
meaningful.
we were trying. It got us into the spirit of, you know.
True.
I know, right?
We were preparing ourselves.
Yeah. And also just to like get, you know, some validation from Basement 34, that also feels really good.
It was really a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, someone sees your vision and actually says, "Hey, this is a good vision.
Yeah, I
think
this is gonna work."
This. Yeah. I think we're on a good path. Yeah. I believe in us. I do.
Shits and gigs were coming for you.
You went directly for shits and gigs.
Yeah, I went to the top. No. We're aiming for the moon, the sky, and everything beyond. But yeah, we're so excited to be here. If you can't tell, this season is going to come with a lot of energy.
Yep.
We're bringing color back. We're bringing energy back. We're bringing fun back. And we're going to talk about everything. So for those of you that are always pressed, please be ready to be pressed because, Yeah, you can't. The thing is, it's our opinion, right? So
Exactly.
it is what it is. We're gonna say what we have to say.
Yeah.
And you're very welcome to, get on your little fancy phones and type and whatever. It's fine. So yeah, we're really excited to be here. I'm really excited to jump into this episode. So we're starting out with questions. So we're still getting questions from you guys and dilemmas. And again, we're no experts. We're gonna throw it out there again.
These are just our opinions.
These are just our opinions, and we don't even know why you're asking us, but you asked.
We're the aunties, baby.
You asked, and we're gonna help whatever way we can. So I'm gonna start by reading one of our comments, and let's see what people are going through.
Your face, bro.
I'm just saying. Okay, so I have this one question. Hey girls, I really enjoy listening to your podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Listening to you guys sounds like listening to y'all building a friendship, and I'm here for it. Aw.
Cute.
First of all, sorry to the girl with the story on the train. Oh my god, sorry to the girl with the story on the train.
Actually, yeah, that was horrible.
Her rant made me want to come on here and rant as well. I was online dating, yes, in Germany, and I mostly wanted to connect with black guys, but it wasn't really easy. Anyways, I matched with this one guy, POC, she puts in brackets, so person of color, and I enjoyed talking to him, and we decided to meet in person. We went out for lunch on our first date, and everything went well. On our second date, we decided to stay in and watch movies at my place. Okay.
Proceed.
I mean, movies are always nice. Like,
please don't judge me for this. We're not judging.
It's cool.
For this, because at the time we had chatted for quite a long time before meeting up, and our first date went well. So I thought, why the hell not? I also really wanted the deed to happen because it had been a hot minute since I'd gotten some action. So he came over and we started.
Go ahead.
So he came over and we started watching the movie, and within the first half of the movie, we started making out. Duh.
Obviously.
I knew where it was going. So before anything went far, I asked if he had protection. He said he did not. I was irked a bit, but I had condoms in the house, so I pulled them out. You go, girl. Here comes my rant. This grown MFing man started blabbing about how he doesn't really like using condoms.
What?
Okay, let's go. Let's move on. Because they're too tight, he loses feeling, and he even suspects he might be allergic to latex. Allergic kill you.
There's non-latex. There's non-latex. What?
I even asked him if he tried non-latex ones, to which he said they're expensive. So he's even like broke. Girl.
No, how expensive are they? Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's move on. He said they're expensive and he's only used condoms once in his life. Who is this person? And okay, sorry. Because condoms are generally expensive. I honestly thought this was a lie, but I wasn't going to go anywhere with this man. I didn't have it in me to tell him, so I politely told him that we can try another time with non-latex condoms, and we just chilled without doing the deed. After he left, I blocked him and never spoke to him again. I was extremely furious because he left me thirsty because of his stupidity. Anyways, I have a lot of stories to tell from my dating phase, but for now, let's leave it here. Okay, so it's not really a question. It's more of
a story, basically.
A story.
A rant.
But what do you guys think?
You guys, come rant.
What do you guys think about this, though? Because this sentiment of I'm allergic to condoms and I don't like condoms because I lose feel. It's a whole thing.
But my biggest question is, how expensive is expensive? Because you're saying latex, non-latex is expensive, and it also goes on to say condoms are generally expensive. Mm-hmm. So it means even the latex ones, freaking Lidl condoms are also expensive. Like what? It sounds like an excuse.
Yeah. I mean, definitely sounds like an excuse, especially coming from the guy. there are two sides. Have also had many females that don't like condoms because like friction, it hurts. I've also heard this side. So the question is, what do people do in this situation?
Yeah, but for the first time, absolutely just go through the pain or whatever. Like,
yeah, I definitely think so.
Nah,
I'm just gonna sit this one out. You guys go for it.
nah, this is annoying though. It's really annoying.
Like, this is haram.
I'm sorry, girl.
I definitely feel when you're getting to know someone, it actually doesn't make sense because like, what else are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Also, I think in this age and time, like there was something. Where did I see this? Would it have been in? No, not Supercell. What was it called? The other UK
Black Mirror?
thing on. No, not Black Mirror. The other
A
UK
show?
Yeah, the show, the one that Drake produces.
I have no.
Top Boy.
Okay.
So they're in season 3 because I just watched it. I think it came out last year, but I just watched it recently. There was this part or this story about. I don't know if you guys have watched Top Boy at all. Okay,
I haven't.
I don't want to get into the whole thing, but basically there were these 2 teenagers that wanted to start having sex, and then the girl was like, we should go get tested. And I was like, I was so happy to see that on like because they never show this,
Exactly.
right? Like, and it was like,
vibes.
yeah, we're definitely not going to do this if we don't get tested. Obviously, if you're grown past a certain age, it would be great to get tested, but I think when the older you get, there are different ways to manage things and also obviously protect yourself. Please use condoms. I think I think
also, I find it so scary how people. I'm not even gonna put it. I'm not gonna make it a gender thing, but we all know in most cases it's a gender thing. I find it so scary how people sometimes are not scared. It's like you don't know this person and you are ready to just do it without any form of. Are you not scared for yourself? Because people act like pregnancy is the only thing you should be scared of. Like, no, there are much
I'm
worse
so
things.
scared of STDs,
Bro.
Like, again, I know it's coming from like a privileged place, but the way I'm so scared of, like, when I think about, I always tell my friends, like, for me, the scariest thing about cheating is, again, obviously, there's all the emotions of, he went for someone else. It's like, what if I catch something?
Exactly.
Do you know how like that scares the
Exactly.
shit out? Like, it's so scary because it's one of those things where it could just become something that stays with you for life. Like, and what do you do then?
And thank God we're now living in a time where HIV is not even the scariest thing you can
Girl,
get. We're now living in a time where with HIV you
it's
can
not
live
the scariest thing, but
life.
it's actually very rampant still.
It is.
Because I was talking with my sister-in-law, shout out to Jifa. She works with a pharmaceutical and the like a huge pharmaceutical in the US, and the drug that they produce the most and has the most demand is for HIV and AIDS. Like, you wouldn't imagine that it's still that rampant today, right? It's still like such a big topic today. It's just not talked about as much because maybe now we can manage it, people can live longer and things like that, but it's still like very, very like, rampant. So it's such a scary thing because, again, it's going to be part of you forever. This is something you're always going to have to explain or maybe even lose out on, like, some opportunities or relationships just because this is now a part of your life.
But I just thank God and science that we not live in a day and age where it's manageable. Like, there's a lot of awareness with HIV and stuff. But my thing is, for me personally, HIV in this day and age is not even the scariest thing that I can get. Working in the hospital and stuff, it has opened my eyes to certain things. I've had a patient who had a recurring viral infection where she has some form of resistance. So even these anti blah 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 aren't even working. And every other month, it's itchy and stuff down there. I'm like, absolutely not. And when she was telling her story, it came from the husband. So it's things like that where I'm just are people not scared? Because I know why are people testing people with their eyes? I may look pretty. I may look. Hello, I go to Sephora. It's Fenty Beauty and stuff. Well, you don't know what's in me for you to just be ready. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I blame media, honestly, for just normalizing having lots of sexual partners and just normalizing sexual activity, you know, like just go and do it, you know, without really thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
But yeah, man, shout out to this girl for standing on business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely, I feel like that is the best way to handle it.
Yeah.
There are many fish in the ocean. There are many apps. Get on the apps and find someone else that isn't allergic. I don't know what else to say.
You write it on your profile.
Yeah.
Non-allergic.
Oh my God.
Only if you use condoms. Latex preferably. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, very interesting that we started this whole episode off here. But Hadya, you said something that I thought was really interesting. And I'm just thinking, you know how these days there's a lot of talk about like open marriages and open relationships, but especially the marriages one. What do you guys think about this?
No.
It's haram, like you said.
Hadya is
like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to be saying here.
I mean, what can I say? But
I think it's a crazy world that we live in.
Just cheat in peace. People just want to cheat without having to carry the burden, the emotional burden of I cheated.
Yeah.
What the heck is an open relationship? If you want to see other people, just see people. Then don't call it a relationship. Just don't call it anything. Just see whoever you want to see. But this thing to want a leeway to cheat, no, I'm not for it. And what the heck is open? Open for what?
Just
what are we opening
sex,
for?
and that's the thing. And that's what makes it scary. Like for me, it's like, again, obviously, I don't ever think that something like that can ever be brought up to me. But it's so the first thing I'm going to think is like, so we're just going to be passing STDs around now.
Literally,
like, what the hell?
Because when you say open relationship, open marriage, I doubt people are talking about, oh, I'm also trying to build an emotional relationship with another person the same way I want to build an emotional relationship with you. You just want to bump uglies and that's it. Like, just whatever happened to loyalty? Why is loyalty just so difficult? Like, can we just not be normal?
I mean, some Muslims will come and say, this is why in our religion a man is allowed to have 4 wives, you know.
But why a man only? The feminist in me will be like,
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not something I personally agree with because, you know, like not just the transmittable diseases. I just think there's just no way for it to work. But yeah, it's something to think about.
Yeah, it's, for me, it's just the whole concept is not something I understand. Maybe I'm not modern enough. I don't know, but it's just a bit like scary and like, because you think of different things. Okay, it's an open marriage, but
wait, what exactly does that mean? They can just have other sexual relationships, or is it also emotional? Like, what exactly does that mean?
Somebody write it and tell us.
Because
I want to know. I once had this crazy story. So there was a guy that the story was coming from his wife's perspective. So she said her husband came to her and said he wants to have an open marriage because he really loves her, but she's not able to satisfy all of his needs. Can you imagine a man telling you that to your face?
Like,
and so she was like, I heard this from a podcast. I forgot the name of their podcast. If I find it, we can link it somewhere. And so she said, he came to her with this and she was so devastated. Obviously, at first she was like, hell no, like, what are you talking about? And then he now eventually came to her and gave her an ultimatum that he was going to divorce her. What? Can you imagine? You know, so much for I love you so much. Like, you know, when you're like, what does that even mean? And he was like, if she doesn't agree, then he's going to have to divorce her. And she didn't want to lose him.
So she agreed?
She agreed. Ooh. And then, but it takes a weird turn. And then at first, it was just, he was like, she said he became so much happier. He was going out. He would come home like very like peppy and everything. And then eventually she told her like sister and her friend. And they were like, yeah, so why are you sitting at home?
Exactly.
And then open. They like,
you're allowed to be
they
open
put her on
too.
the apps. And then she started going out. and she like met people and now like had these 2 other relationships outside of her marriage.
But what is the purpose of the marriage then?
That's my question. Because it's like it
well,
makes
in Germany
no
for
sense.
taxes.
Yeah, I mean, there you have a point.
In Germany for taxes, I guess. But still, so please don't tell me the husband was acting up when he found out that she was now also dating.
Then his own things weren't clicking anymore. So he had that one. I think he had already set up what he wanted to do before he even asked for it. So immediately he had the chance. He started seeing someone, possibly. So that was that peppy phase. But I don't think it worked out. So she said all the people he was now trying to get with, they didn't want to be with him because they didn't find him attractive or whatnot. And then she, on the other hand, was now like in a serious relationship with one person, and then having the time of her life with another person that was younger than her. So she was like, for that one, it was more like, you know, just a sexual relationship where it was so much fun. But then she had like a strong connection with another guy. I'm like, this is the whole thing is
Just defying really the purpose of marriage, I feel.
Yeah,
Start
actually
doing that.
just
like,
stay single.
that's no longer marriage, right?
Yeah.
It's something else, and it's yeah.
I think this modern day dating culture, or should I even call it a culture, with people wanting to be polyamorous, open marriages, this, that. I think it's just defying things that are, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Things that are just pure, things that are just meant to be glorified. Like marriage is a beautiful thing. Well, obviously I'm not married, but I can say it still with chest. Marriage is a beautiful thing. And why would you want to? Because you're saying to someone, hey, I love you so much that I want to spend the rest of my life with you, even start a family with you, if it's possible, if it's something that can happen for us. And for you to then say, I want to put this special thing we have on the side for a little side thing. Why? Yeah. Why did you get married then in the first place? Yeah. I think people should just stay single, do your thing, and die doing your thing.
I don't know. I feel like these things, as someone who, you guys know how I'm a little bit doubtful about the whole marriage thing anyways, but when I hear things like these, it just kind of makes me think also like about the whole institution of marriage. I know it does work for some people, but in the general scheme of things, I don't know. Does it really work?
I think it does. It's just so sad that we live in a generation where negative things make the most noise. So we will obviously, no one is coming online talking about, hey guys, I'm married to this beautiful woman. My marriage is this, that.
I am.
Sorry, because we have this podcast. But if it wasn't for this podcast, we probably wouldn't know that a Mariam exists, married to a great husband and has a great child, and her marriage is going well. We probably wouldn't know that because people don't make such content. Because no one is going to engage with that anyways.
Except the trad wives.
Some do.
But it's rare. My point is, it's how, in relation to the videos you see about, look at Risa Tisa, for example, a whole ass...
carried the whole world.
Like, a whole ass production about a cheating story. And they just make so much noise. We have more of those because people will engage. So we tend to hear most of the negative that we forget or we shut out the good. And we end up just believing the negative, I feel. Which is sad. But I'm a believer, child. Like,
that's great. I mean, I love that for you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really great. It's not, I'm not a believer, but I just have lots of doubts about the traditional way marriage is. Not saying that people should be promiscuous. I don't know. That's not what I'm saying. But I just feel...
Like,
no, girl, that's not what I'm saying.
It's all right.
No, I just feel like the traditional marriage in the sense of 2 people living together in a house for the rest of their lives, me personally, I don't think I can do that. You know, not saying that I would need no, I don't need that, but I just need it to be done differently if I'm ever put in that situation.
So,
you know?
what's an example? Because this will be interesting. So, like, you can live in 2 separate houses.
Yeah, like I don't want to live with anyone in one house.
Actually,
like,
I think that's a nice setup.
No,
your
like
house is there, my house is here.
Yeah, you know what? Even
Goodbye.
different cities. I don't even want to do. No, really, I don't. Like, I don't need to see you all the time. You know?
What?
And I feel
cities.
like when there's like this Abstand, like this distance, I feel like it will keep it interesting,
Okay,
like
wait, but let's put that in perspective. So how long do you have to be apart for it to be interesting?
Actually,
like
good
one day in a
question.
different city and then one day together, or
no, that's too much.
okay, so like every 3 months.
No, that's also too much. Like let's just say every 2 weeks.
Then
we'll have like a weekend together, and then like when it's holiday time, we meet up.
That's a weekend getaway.
Yeah, girls. This is interesting.
Okay, so where do the kids stay?
Yeah, that's the thing. If we decide to have kids, obviously the dynamic will have to change a little bit, but the kids will have to follow in this. 2 days here, 3 days there. We're not divorced, but we just like we like our space. I don't know.
Wow,
I love this.
No, honestly,
I'm shook to the core, but I love it.
Personally, I don't think I can stand living with someone.
person.
Unless we have like a really big mansion and I have one end and you have the other end. That's also, but then just being in one space.
What's wrong with living with someone?
People are annoying.
I don't know. I get annoyed at my old age. Like, I just can't, like, I don't want you in my space. I don't want you in my toilet. I don't want you in my bed. Like that, everything. I
love this so much.
Like, it's crazy.
Don't you like? I mean,
that's
do you
friends
just
with benefits?
No.
I'm too clingy for this.
That's friends with benefits.
I'm way too clingy. I want my person so close.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want you so.
I don't know.
So
I mean, that's just me personally.
Okay, so but in this arrangement, then can people come and have sleepovers in your places?
What do you mean, people?
Friends. Us, for example.
Can we come?
Can we just come, or we are also too much?
Like,
no, of course you can.
Can Emmanuel sleep over?
No. Emmanuel cannot come. But then
sorry, Emmanuel.
Screw you, Emmanuel.
Well, why is Emmanuel coming to sleep over anyways?
Okay, but what if your husband has a female friend? Can she?
Why is he having female friend?
Yeah, like no.
So it's just to live in isolation.
No.
Let's get married to live in
the thing is, it's not that. For me, the reason I say this, I feel personally that people get tired from each other when they live for extended periods of time together. And that's why I feel like if we have this little bit of distance, we're loyal to each other. We're not stepping outside of the marriage, but there's distance between us. I feel like this would keep us kind of...
I think this is what kids are for. I think this is what you're saying makes a lot of sense if it's two people married, two individuals that don't have kids. I can see I would say very likely, because I think, again, my experience is very different, but I can see the boredom over time and the repetition. But I think once you put kids in that, kids bring so much chaos that and that chaos changes. Like, so what's happening at like 0 to 6 months is very different from what's happening from like 6 to 24 months, and it's very different from when they become toddlers, and it's very different from when they get to 10 years. So I think kids bring in that dynamic of, because whatever's happening with the kids, your own dynamic has to change to manage it. So it keeps...
If they're sick, you're sick.
Kind of like that. It keeps it interesting. So it's like your life is not super monotonous. I can't really speak for people that don't have kids, either they choose not to or they just can't. I can't speak to that, right? I can imagine that it could become a bit repetitive and monotonous, where our life revolves around both of us and our jobs, maybe in some cases family, some traveling here and there. I can imagine that. But with kids, girl, you wake up every day, it's like life is just like brand new, again, my own experience, right? But it's a really interesting perspective.
I mean, it's just me, and I know that it's influenced by everything that I've seen. It's personal.
No, I definitely know couples that live in the same house and don't sleep in the same room.
I think that's
in my family.
setup.
Like, I know like some of my aunties and uncles. I know like this is their arrangement. They just don't sleep in the same room, and I think that's really... I think it's more common than you would think. I don't know if it's because people feel this way, like I need my space. I don't know why, or they just maybe don't like each other. I don't know.
No, but for example, if you have a snoring partner and you're a light sleeper,
but I do snore. So I would feel really bad if someone said, like, I don't want you in my bed because you snore.
Let me not say it. But honestly, I think I would do it.
Yeah.
Because also I'm a light sleeper, and I've struggled with this before. It's almost like you get used to a person. So my ex-partner used to snore, and I got used to it to a point where for me to actually fall asleep, I had to create a melody out of the snoring.
I think there's snoring and there's snoring though. Like I think there's some snoring that is like unbearable.
So things like that. I think I could, if someone has sleep apnea, for example, I'm not saying it's your fault, you have it, but also for me to be able to fall asleep, bye honey, separate rooms and stuff. I think one thing I would want separate though, no matter who you are, separate bathrooms.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
If I have enough money for it, separate bathrooms.
We currently have separate bathrooms, not by my choice, just because we happen to have two. But I don't mind. Like I would share a bathroom.
Not me.
No. Okay.
This actually reminds me of a question I saw. It's been trending. People are asking who comes first. So in a scenario where you're married, who comes first, husband or child or children?
In what scenario?
Like in general, who do you put first?
When I'm making a decision.
Logical?
I guess kind of like that. Because the question is just who comes first, husband or children?
But that's the thing. I think this is the part that some things that I'm learning now that I'm in marriage. A lot of these things, like a lot of decisions you're going to make, you're not making it as an individual. So if you put both of us together, we're not going to be like, we're going to be like, Ayo comes first. Because when we make decisions, we just make it as a unit, if you know what I mean. There are very few decisions where I'm making my own decision that I have to now think of Fola as an individual or Ayo. It's typically always just as a unit, and then we just think of Ayo first as his parents. I don't know. I don't know how else to answer that.
I saw some people saying your partner has to come first, because once you put your partner first, then you can, as a unit, you can show up for your children. Which kind of makes sense to me. But there's definitely
an example. What's an example of this?
So kind of like what you're saying, like when it comes to decision making, maybe they're saying that if you consider how it will affect your partner before, like, I guess it would depend on what kind of decision, but if you consider how it affects your partner first, it's obviously then generally going to affect your children or child in the same way. So automatically, this person was saying automatically, you kind of put your partner first before your children, because your children are your children. You will choose them no matter what, but you have to actively choose your partner. And I was just like, interesting. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but it just made sense somehow. But I also think children should come first. Like, screw you. You're I don't know you. Like, you're literally not my relative. Like, we have no DNA, you and I, you and my partner.
We don't body fluids.
Nah. I done I released them a long time ago. But me and the child, we share DNA. Like, we're related. You and I, though.
I think it's an interesting one. I think it's also a bit because I think it's based on what the scenario is. So you know how some people paint this scenario of your kid and your husband are drowning. Who are you gonna save?
My child, obviously. What you're going to say?
No, let the kid drown?
No, of course not. It's tricky, but obviously it's just like an analogy, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult
R.I.P. baby. Like,
no, it's not that I'm gonna let the child, but I think it's also one of those things that in that moment, would I actually be making the decision alone?
But they're both drowning. So that decision is yours and yours alone, actually.
It's maybe not.
How?
I think, again, it's still going to be that thing of we've had conversations enough to know that in that situation, father would want me to pick Ayo over him.
Exactly.
Right? So it's my decision, but it's not really my decision. Like, because it's influenced by something. I don't know how to explain this, right? It's a bit complex. But yeah, again, I think it's crazy to bring kids into the world and not put them first over everything. That's how I see it, right? Yeah. And there's just always that mutual understanding. And if you're with someone that is gonna, put themselves first or put you first, I think that's a little bit weird. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
as long as there are kids in the mix, because again, they didn't ask to be here.
Exactly. No one filled out an application to say, hey, I hereby apply for birth on the 6th of July. Like, come on.
To these people in Frankfurt.
So, guys, we just had a little break, and our producer just chimed in on the conversation of who do you pick. And he actually said what I was saying before, that you should choose your partner before your kids. And this goes to what I was describing before from this content creator that I saw. And now it makes sense from what he just described. Like, if your partner is not happy, then you as a unit are not happy, and it's definitely going to affect the child. There's nothing you can do without making your partner happy that makes the child happy. Happy wife, happy life. I guess happy what as well, I guess. But I honestly, I can't describe it well, but this person was just talking about how you and your partner are a unit, and you should remain a unit. Yeah. It shouldn't even be a question. You should show up as one. So if you're not picking your partner, you are not. If you pick your child over your partner, you are not being a unit.
But I don't think so. I think that's where I don't see it as picking the child over my partner. So
no, it's not over. It's who comes first.
Yeah, but that's something. So if I'm in a situation and then let's pick, right? Okay, that's the thing. I wish I had an example. I can't really think of any. But if there was something where it's like, oh, we had to do this, but if doing this for Ayo will affect Fola in this way,
then you're not doing it.
It's gonna be a tricky one, because Fola's also in that same situation going to be like, of course you do the thing for Ayo. So it's like I don't know how to explain this.
I'm trying to just understand what it means exactly by putting your husband first.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I wish that was a good,
example. In terms of what?
So okay, let's see. Maybe moving. Let's use moving. Kids are in a school that they love.
Okay.
Right? Husband gets a job in Qatar. Right? And
not Qatar.
Yeah, and then wants us to move, right? And it's literally just, bringing it to me, and I have to choose between my kids being very happy with their school here. But that's also a tricky one, because money makes people happy.
But also, even in that scenario, hey,
but yeah,
it's still you who comes first in that decision. So if your husband is going to come with that question, your answer is what is going to determine what's going to happen.
At that age, they will just move with the parents.
So also, for example, things where you're showing up for your partner in, I don't know, all the love languages. So maybe your partner's love language is quality time, and you also want to spend quality time with the children. I think quality time with your partner comes first before quality time with your children, because if your partner is happy, you are both in a space where you are able to show up as a unit to spend even quality time with your children.
Yeah, but if you already give all the time to your husband, then what quality time are we giving to the kids?
So it's not all the time in this case, but so it's a thing where it's a Saturday. Everyone had stuff. The child was at school the whole week. You were at work. The partner was at work. Which quality time comes first?
This is a good example.
Which quality times comes first? Honestly, I think I personally would want to first have quality time with the partner, just to, I don't know, forget about the week, to put the week behind us. And then we plan something together to say, oh, so now that we've just, had this out of the way, now we can show up, both of us happy.
But there you have luxury of time. Imagine if you only have that one window. So let's say you maybe started a course. So now my Saturdays look like, and the whole week I'm busy. There's really no time to spend quality time. The only window I have is 2 hours on a Saturday. And my partner is someone that actually really appreciates quality time. But I also want to be able to catch up on what my kids have been doing, to really understand how they're growing, because I think we all know, like, a lot of kids' development and growth is influenced by like what they do at school with their friends and stuff. So I really want to catch up on that, but I also want to give my husband quality time. And I just have this 2 hour window, and that time is only enough for either, who you're going to choose?
I think it comes in where you take 5 minutes to just tell your partner, hey, you know what, this is what's going on. We're going to catch up on our time, but let's do this for the kids. You still put him first.
This is what I'm saying. As a unit, you guys are going to agree to...
I don't know, man.
This is what I think.
Let the people comment.
It's a tricky one.
Also, I can't speak on this. I don't have a husband.
No,
it's hard for me to kind of
to visualize
put myself in that position.
I think for me, it's also right now. It's just hard to, because I don't see it as not putting him first. I just see it as we're both very agreed on the fact that anything that affects this human being is the most important thing.
Then he's
above everything else.
Oh wow.
So I think that's just it. Yeah.
Child, I come first, second, third in my single household. So. But yeah, the comments will do it for us.
Yeah, okay, this was an interesting conversation. Went from AIDS to like open relationships,
to children drowning.
But yeah, so we're happy to be back, and you guys know the drill. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, comment. For those of you that like to, and
be nice.
Yeah. Share your thoughts.
I don't care. You can be mean.
Share your thoughts. And follow us on social media at the She Sessions Pod.
You got it right.
We don't have Twitter, but we do have Instagram and we have TikTok. Follow us there. We'll be really happy to connect with you guys there. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.